Hey guys, we're here for a new episode of the show that has yet to be named. Our topic today is wrestlers in movies, our favorite movies that have wrestlers in them. I'm here with Johnny Donuts 777, and I'm here with Caps, the warlock of the show. He's
a warlock.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm running out of things to call you. Warlocks are cool. Like, come on.
We're the faction and he's the faction leader.
Yeah, exactly. You're like Gandalf. All right. Well, okay, so we're gonna
shall not pass.
We won't fly, you fools. So the last five, we're gonna do a top five. We'll start at 5 and go down, and then later we'll open it up for honorable mentions and whatnot. So
and you guys did a countdown. I just all right.
Yeah, well, you could just pick your 5. It's fine. Right. So we'll go into this right now. We'll start with the list. We'll go 5, 5, 5, 4, 4, 4, 3. And I think that Caps wants to go first.
No, you guys go first.
Okay, 777.
Work this thing out.
All right. So my number 5 would be the original Spider-Man because it had Macho Man Savage in it.
Okay, my number 5 is The Rundown.
Okay, that's a good pick.
Caps?
Spider-Man.
Okay. So that's 5. So
I got written down. That's why. So
yeah.
Okay. My number 4 is Longest Yard, the remake with Adam Sandler.
I forgot about that. That's a good call.
Yeah, that had everybody. You had Goldberg, Nash, Austin.
Yeah. Oh, it's me. Okay, my number 4 is Ed Wood.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. George Steele.
Yeah.
Central Intelligence. Because I thought it was just hilarious.
I didn't, you know what? I know we're going to talk about it, but I didn't dislike that movie as much as a lot of people did.
Yep.
It wasn't a bad,
I thought it was okay. But I'm going over this list again. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I tried to stay away from too many rock films.
I went with one, which was The Rundown.
I don't think I have any, but okay. So my number 3 is Guardians of the Galaxy.
My number 3 is They Live.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with They Live as well.
Okay, that's my number 2.
Number 2, They Live.
For They Live, yeah.
Number 2 for me is Predator.
My number 2 is Princess Bride.
And that's my number 1.
I absolutely hate that movie. My number 1 is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Fair enough.
Okay, so I'm going to throw you a curveball. My number 1 is Godfather because
I'll count it. He's in it.
Was a wrestler.
Okay, Luca. Yeah, you're right. Luca Brasi was a wrestler. That's right.
I purposely avoided that, but I'll let you have that.
I'm sorry. I'm looking through my list again, and shoot, I'm going to change my Central Intelligence one, and I'm going to put in Rocky 3.
You know what's funny? Because I was waiting for someone to do that in the other video. Yeah. Will be on the other channel. But so that's it for that's our top 5. We'll go through it again quickly, and then we'll open up the floor for discussion if you just came for the list. So my top 5, I have The Rundown, Ed Wood, They Live, Predator, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mine was Spider-Man, Longest Yard, Guardians of the Galaxy, They Live, and Princess Bride.
Yeah, I didn't have my mark down 1 to 5, so
just name the 5 movies.
Godfather, Rocky 3, Princess Bride, Spider-Man, and there was something else. I can't remember what it was.
Central Intelligence.
Cool,
I took Central Intelligence out because I put Rocky 3 in. But anyway, whatever.
That was the best episode.
It was I didn't mark my down because I was just like, it was so many to name from. You know what I mean? There's so many. I don't know if are we going into honorable mentions?
Yeah. So this is how I want to do it. I have 5 for sure honorable mentions, and I think
quite a bit.
Each one of us should just name a chunk, like 5 if we have 5, and then we'll just open the floor. So whoever wants to go first, name 5.
I'll take it. I got Spectre in there. Mm-hmm. With Batista. I had Jumanji in there with The Rock. I had Rocky 3 with Hulk Hogan as well. I had Walking Tall in my honorable mentions. I think that's it. I only had the 4.
Okay, so mine I have The Running Man. I have Hobbs and Shaw. I have Be Cool, which is The Rock again, but I like Be Cool, so too bad. G.I. Joe, the movie, the cartoon one. Okay.
Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah, see, they're deep pull. And for the all-time most wrestlers in 5 seconds of a movie, MacGruber.
That's right, Jericho.
It had like all of them, they all die in 1 second.
Oh, we forgot the Water Boy.
Oh, the Water Boy, yeah, he's in that. I forgot about that. That's one I didn't even know about. So far, I haven't missed any. I know about all of these, but the Water Boy, you got me with that.
Yeah, like you guys named a lot. Like I got Faster with The Rock.
Yeah.
I think you mentioned Rundown, right, Johnny?
Yeah.
Yeah. Expendables. I'm sorry, I'm just a fan of those cheesy 80s films.
It doesn't have to be good. This is favorite movies.
You guys mentioned The Running Man, Predator, Escape from New York.
Who's in Escape from New York?
The wrestler that he battled in the ring. I can't remember what his name was, but he's actually a wrestler. That Kurt Russell.
Yeah. Let me throw Highlander in there too.
Oh, shit. Yeah. That's a deep pull.
Highlander. You had the Fabulous Freebirds at the beginning of that movie.
That's a deep pull. Yeah. Okay, so that was 3 movies that I didn't even know about, or I forgot about.
There you
go.
I
like that. I mean, now I kind of regret having Be Cool, but I'm still not going to take it off my list.
No, that's a good movie. Leave it on the list.
I mean, I feel like my deep pull was G.I. Joe, the movie, okay? So I'll take it. But so let's just open the floor here. So nobody had the rundown on their top list. Is that because you like? To me, I think that's my favorite Rock movie.
See, it's Sean William Scott that throws it off for me. I don't like him.
I mean, I guess that's fair. I'm not going to argue.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, he did he did a lot. He did quite a few. What was the one he did with oh man, what's his name?
Johnny Knoxville.
Wahlberg.
Oh,
Pain and Gain.
Pain and Gain. I had that, but I took it off.
That was a pretty decent one.
Yeah.
Which one was the one he did with Kevin Hart recently too?
Well, it wasn't Central Intelligence. No, Jumanji.
No, the high school one. Was that Central Intelligence?
Yeah.
Central Intelligence.
Yeah.
Okay. So he did a few.
He was in the remake of Get Smart.
And Get Smart also had Great Khali is the guy that.
Yes, the villain.
Yeah. And he jumps out of a plane and goes through a bar and he's still alive.
Yes.
You know what? Get Smart is not very good, but it doesn't get any love. Like, it's a pretty fun movie.
Yeah, if you just want to watch it's a typical Steve Carell type of silly film.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Now there's just so many to choose from, man. This is a tough one because when we came up with the idea of naming movies with wrestlers in them, it's like at first I didn't think, well, this is going to be kind of tough. Like, I don't think there wasn't a lot, but then when you dive into it and you actually redo the research, it's like, wow, there are
quite
a lot.
bit. Like there's so many still on my list that I haven't mentioned too. Like I got Kane and See No Evil.
Yeah, do you know what? And that's actually a pretty underrated movie. Mm-hmm. It was weird because I messaged in the group at one point. I was like, "This is a really hard list to do," and then I rephrased it because I thought you guys were going to think that it was hard because I didn't like the list, and I was like, "No, it's so many choices." But then I literally bared down on it and was like, "Which movies of these movies do I really like?" Instead of like I hate Fast and the Furious, but I loved Hobbs and Shaw because it was so dumb. It was like the exact 80s like copy of an 80s action movie where things just happen and you're like, don't no explanation.
Your buddy cop type of movie.
Yeah, and that's what I like, right?
But I was gonna say even some of like the Batista's like family comedies I don't mind, like Stuber and like
Stuber is all right. And I like the spy one.
Yeah, they were half decent films.
I didn't give it like a high rating because I think as a movie it's nothing great, but like as a watch, I had a good time with it. I think for a family, I think people will like it.
Maybe not Stuber, but
no Stuber, but like Stuber is not like it wasn't like offensively bad. It was just like okay, it's just a stupid comedy, right?
Yeah.
So I guess you could just mention Guardians of the Galaxy then. I haven't actually watched that film. I don't know how it is, but like I guess this kind of fits the mold. Demolition Man, I forgot about that.
Oh yeah.
Wait, who's in Demolition Man?
Jesse the Body.
He's in so many things.
Yeah.
Just the body.
Like, that's why I was so hesitant on putting Running Man in, because, like, even Predator, but I was like, yeah, but I like him in Predator. Like, his character's so dumb. Like,
he's like,
still in it, though.
Yeah, he's not a big dumb Marine kind of thing in Predator.
Yeah, and, okay, so the one that I have here, my number 4, was Ed Wood, George the Animal, and he is, like, I don't know where he fucking got this acting ability, but he plays Tor Johnson like spot on. Like, it's absolutely the most, like, I could not believe it, and I didn't know about it till recently that it was him. I was watching a show about Ed Wood, like a YouTube like little documentary thing, and I was like, wait, that's him. And I watched it again, and then we happened to do this list, and I was like, wow, that's perfect. But yeah, he's like
that one is a good one. But George Steele, I mean, think about the character that he played in The Ring too, so you know his acting ability must be good.
That's true. He was always one of the better wrestling personalities.
Yeah,
like, I think he paved the way for that type of character.
And, like, I mean, even Savage was able to get, like, a good match out of him back in the 80s. Like, there was that whole feud where George was after Miss Elizabeth.
Yeah, it's like Macho Man is like a really good one too. What was the one you had? Spider-Man?
The original Spider-Man. Both Caps and I had that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bonesaw.
This is that's what his name was, Bonesaw.
Yeah.
I forgot. Holy shit. But yeah, I try to, except for Predator. I tried to, like, pick movies where the wrestler was, like, prominent or played, like, a very important person, but, like, Jesse Ventura's just there to die in Predator. But, like, I couldn't not put Predator because, you know, like, I really like that. But, like, when I thought about it, Spider-Man's a good choice. My one with Rocky is, like, he's in it for, like, 1 minute, and he's just there for that, like, situation.
Rocky 3 Thunder Lips.
Yeah.
But if you really want to put it that way too, Clubber Lang, Mr. T, he was at WrestleMania. Like, yes. I mean, so technically, I mean, that's a gray area, but you can still count that.
Yeah. That's why I mean, like, I'm not going to be hard on it because, like, I picked friggin' Sergeant Slaughter in my honorable mentions. Yeah. And MacGruber is such an underrated movie. Like, I don't even want to get into that talk, but
I'm surprised nobody picked any of Hogan's schlock from the 80s, like Mr. Nanny or Suburban Commando.
Shut your mouth. I almost had okay, look, so Mr. Nanny was growing up was one of my favorite movies, and not because it was good. We used to just we had the VHS, and it was like a funny, stupid kids movie, so we used to just watch it over and over and over and over. And we originally found it on Black Box. That's how we discovered the movie, and then we bought it.
Nice.
But
Suburban Commando also had The Undertaker in it.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. And Mr. Nanny didn't have a wrestler, but who was it? George Jefferson? No.
Which one? No.
The guy from the Jeffersons is in it, right? Is it
George Jefferson? Yeah. The main guy.
Yeah. Okay.
George Jefferson. I forgot his name, but Sherman Helmsley.
I
haven't watched that movie in so long. I'm not going to be going back to it. Even No Holds Barred was like the first movie I ever watched.
Yeah. Nobody mentioned that either.
No. And it's like I rewatched it one time. I'm like, wow, this is bad.
I mean, listen, there's a reason. There's a few movies that are not here that there's a reason I didn't mention them. It's because they might be or may not be on another list. Because I think that they fit better in that scenario than this scenario. Because none of these movies I picked are about wrestling.
Yeah. I could probably think of one right off the bat too. So
you shut your mouth.
Spoilers.
But They Live is like everyone. We all had that on our list. I mean,
yeah. And I didn't put it too high either because we did that in one, and I chose it in my underrated films too. Yeah. So it's like everybody knows I love that film. So it's like,
I mean, for me, I was surprised, but like now I get it that you said that because I was like, isn't that your favorite wrestler? And you didn't even put it that high. Well, I thought it would be your number one, but
no, Princess Bride, because that's a movie I grew up on, right? So for me, it's just this heartwarming story. I know a lot of people don't like it. Come at me, but I love the Princess Bride. I can watch that movie over and over.
I grew up just past that. And so, like, there's no nostalgia for me on that. So when I was a kid and we used to go to people's houses and they would watch it, I was like, this movie sucks. I'm like, why are we watching this? And you know what? Like, watching it now as an adult, it's not that bad of a movie. Like,
Yeah.
As a storyline and characters and stuff, it's not that bad, but I still don't get why people like it. Like there's this like this rabid fan base for this movie. Like some of my friends, that's their favorite movie, and I just don't get it.
Not my favorite movie, but I mean, it's a movie, like I said, it can watch over and over again, for me at least. If it's on, I'll take the time and sit down and watch it if I'm, if it's on TV or something, right?
I mean, it's all about Peter Falk and
yes, Fred Savage.
What's his name? Inconceivable?
Wallace Shawn.
Wallace Shawn, that's my boy.
Wallace Shawn. Inconceivable.
That's my dude.
Never getting a land war in China, right?
You know what? Like, it has memorable moments, right?
Yeah, it has some great lines.
I learned to like appreciate it more as I got older, but I just don't understand how there's such a massive fan base for it.
I mean, the cast was star-studded too. You had Billy Crystal in that. You had Christopher Guest. You had Carrie Ells in it. Like, it was a big. I think Robin Wright was in it as.
Yeah.
Like, this is Carrie Ells before he became really popular. Same thing with Robin Wright. She was literally an unknown at the time, right? And Fred Savage too. Fred Savage. He must have just started the 1 years at that point, or right before.
That would. I think it was like season 1.
Okay,
he was
it was
on
right
like
at
on.
But the movie starts and I see Columbo. I'm like, okay, I'm sold.
Yeah, I mean, that's what had me as an adult. I was like, oh shit, Columbo's in this movie.
Columbo. Just wait for one more thing.
That Columbo, he is smart as a dick.
One more thing.
You guys got to give kudos to Andre too, man. Andre did a pretty good job too, man. Like, he fit that role perfectly.
Yeah, he did.
That's a movie where a lot of his myth was built out of. The story about his farts and him drinking barrels of beer, like, that's all comes from filming that, like, during the filming of that movie.
Yeah, because the cast and crew always had a story about him, and
everybody on that cast had a story about Andre, and it just built.
He was a good human being, and like it came out of him in like those roles, right? Like, you could say, what was the movie with him and Billy Crystal? My Giant.
No,
that's not a bad movie.
My Giant? Yeah,
I think it's called that. That's a pretty good movie too.
Yeah, but Andre was that true gentle giant. Like, really, yeah.
That's why people never understood why he wrestled.
Unless you pissed them off.
I mean, the guy was just living out in Montreal, owning restaurants and whatnot,
flipping cars.
That's what he does best. What else are you going to do, right?
In Montreal, not really.
I mean, there's a lot to do. I'm just
drinking over 100 beers a night.
So, Predator is Predator. I don't want to get into that.
Yeah, it's a great film.
It's a great movie. I have Guardians. I think the first Guardians is so superior to this Volume 2. This is one of the best Marvel movies they made. It changed the entire landscape of superhero movies because we realized that you could take absolute trash and turn it into gold. And it gave everyone Chris Pratt. It brought Zoe Saldana back to the spotlight. Dave Bautista got solidified as like an action star. Then you had
Bradley Cooper
that no one even knew he was Rocket for like the whole thing. And then everyone loved Groot. Groot became everyone's favorite character all of a sudden.
Michael Rooker.
Yeah, exactly. And he's so good in it. Like,
Michael Rooker's great. But Guardians, if it wasn't for Guardians, we wouldn't have Ragnarok, I don't think.
No, we wouldn't. It changed the tone of Marvel movies to be like have a comedic aspect to it, and everyone's like a outlaw type character now. Yeah, right. And
the rogue type.
And it's just really well acted. It's well directed. It looks really nice. Bautista does a great job. No one knew he had that comedy ability until this, where he was like, his comedic timing is like amazing.
But recent interviews, he said he feels like they didn't do Drax justice.
Yeah, and I think it's because there's a lot of factors. Like, I don't want to go too deep into it, but I believe he just, after sticking up for James Gunn as much as he did, something happened and they don't like each other anymore. And I think he's just taking it out on Marvel for the character. Okay. Because yes, Drax in the comics fights Thanos.
Yep.
But Drax also in the comics is a useless character who disappeared for 20 years. So you're not going to make this argument with me that he deserves a place with like the Iron Mans and the Batman.
No, he's I think Drax is more of a C tier.
Yeah. So the whole Guardians of the Galaxy is like a C tier.
C tier, yeah. That's true.
He's the bottom of all of them. So and like he's good in the movies, right?
Yeah.
But what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
What's a movie? You guys have any movies on your list you want to talk about?
Like, I mean, I want to talk about maybe not movies in general, but talk about The Rock a little bit, because he really opened the door for, I think, Batista, and to be taken seriously as an actor. You can do both. Like, if it wasn't for The Rock, we probably wouldn't have the Fast and Furious franchise lasting as long as it did. He resurrected that franchise with 5 and 6.
And I know that Vin Diesel is like the main character of Fast and the Furious, but his pull factor to get The Rock like removed out of that is so ridiculous, because like The Rock was carried you for 2 movies, like absolutely carried your entire franchise, and then Hobbs and Shaw was a massive hit.
Yeah, and now they subbed out The Rock for John Cena in the new one.
Yeah, and it's like, listen, you brought in 2 guys specifically that are action stars that lit it up for you, and that's Jason Statham and The Rock, and then you pushed both of them aside and let them go do their own thing, and now they're bigger than you, basically.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I do have a question though. Like, I know there was a lot of hype between with Hobbs and Shaw, and it was in the movies for like maybe it was on top for like maybe a good couple of weeks, but it quickly fell out of the list of the top.
It's not a movie you would consider like a really good movie, but if you're like from the ages we are and you like 80s action schlock, this is exactly that.
Yeah.
It's just insane, non-stop action, and there's no reason for any of it. It's just
I know this is one of the reasons why they had their beef, Rock and Vin Diesel, because he went out and did a movie that branched out away from the Fast and Furious series, I believe, right?
Yeah, but what's wrong with that though? That's what I don't understand. Like, let them do their own thing. Don't you want this franchise to be, and then they can, down the road they do another crossover.
Anything you attach The Rock's name to is gold.
Yeah. Okay, maybe not anything, but
not everything.
But he has comedic timing. He has action abilities. He is like this. Charisma that comes off of him is crazy. Like, he's just so likable. There's nothing to not like. And he proved as a wrestler, you could be a heel, he could be an asshole, and he could play the hero. And now still, like you said, how you could do both. He shows up every once in a while at WWE, and it's the biggest hit of the week, of the month.
The crowd lights up every time he's around.
I get that, but like, he does still have limitations of what he can and can't do as an actor. I mean, even when I'm watching, San Andreas. Remember that one?
Yeah, which is not a good movie.
It's
Rampage.
Like, you could see a little bit of the limitations. Maybe it was the way he was directed or whatever the case may be, but you could still see some of his limitations as an actor. And I know for a fact that he's come a long way from The Rundown or Scorpion King. And all that stuff.
That was pretty bad.
He still has a little bit of his he has some limitations there still.
To me, his like the Rundown, I love him in. I think The Rundown is the most fun, because I kind of grew up on it because it came out later, but I watched it so much when it came out because it's just a fun buddy cop vibe. But Be Cool, when he played like the like quasi sexual, like kind of feminine, gay, like wannabe singer guy, and it was like, this is The Rock. Like, we weren't expecting this, and he showed like he's willing to do anything, and he can do anything. And if you compare him to any other wrestler in terms of acting outside of wrestling, he's by far the best. It's like, if you watch a movie with The Miz or Stone Cold, it's like, what am I watching?
The Condemned.
Austin cannot act at all, but then you watch him in wrestling and you're like, wow.
Mind you, those Tide commercials he does with the iced tea are pretty funny.
That was so random. It's like you watch Austin in the ring and his acting is on next level, but then you see him in movies and you're like, what am I watching?
It's a totally different thing. Like, he did a pretty good job in Expendables, but I guess like he just played himself. To a certain extent.
Expendables, he was good, and there was he had like a really big action movie.
I think it was The Condemned, wasn't it? The Condemned?
maybe it was The Condemned. It's like him on the cover and there's like trees.
Yeah, that's a Condemned where he has to like fight his way off an island. Like he has a death sentence. And
that one was pretty good.
I'm surprised. Nobody mentioned any John Cena films, like say something like Trainwreck or no, but I mean, I'm just curious.
He was great in Trainwreck. That was probably his best role that he's ever done, but he's only in the movie for such a short time, and I don't like the movie, so I didn't like bring it up.
Was the one with him, Amy Poehler, and Tina Fey?
Sisters.
Sister. Okay, yeah, because he played like some sort of bouncer dude.
Yeah, he's the drug dealer at the house, which he was great in that too. He's
short.
He's really good in small bursts. When you have too much John Cena, like there's a movie that came out and I couldn't even finish it. It's called Playing with Fire.
Fire? I heard that
it's
one. That's
so bad. Like you will absolutely rip your eyeballs out of your head.
Keegan-Michael Key.
Yeah, and his character, Keegan-Michael Key, just is like he never stops talking from the start of the movie till the end of the movie, and you're like, it's just like mind-boggling. It's like he wants to be the star, but John Cena's like keeps pushing him out of the way. Well, I don't know.
Okay. And what's her name from Deadpool's in that too, isn't she?
Marina Back.
No,
the girl,
the young girl,
teenage, Negasonic Teenage Warhead. I believe that's her. Yeah.
No,
I mean,
Marina
I couldn't
Baccarin.
even. Yeah, I couldn't even watch it.
Yeah, I heard it. I heard that one was pretty bad.
It's one of the worst movies of the last 5 years in terms of like big budget movies.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't able to give my opinion on any John Cena movie. Sorry, I don't.
I mean, you're not missing much. I didn't like him as a wrestler either. So.
I mean, even there's some Rock movies I haven't even watched as well. I mean, like, you know.
Well, I couldn't sit through Skyscraper. Was it Skyscraper?
Yeah.
I couldn't sit through that one. That's
like,
what
I haven't watched.
Campbell,
There was a Rampage or something like that.
I don't know if it's with Nev Campbell, but I know which one Skyscraper is. It's like the cover is him holding on to.
Yeah.
I watched Skyscraper and I watched Rampage, and Rampage is kind of fun, but San Andreas is absolute garbage. I don't know. The Rock's choices of movies is what hurts him, not really his abilities. He has range, surprising amount of range, and now we've seen Batista has range. He can do comedy. He can do kids movies. He can do action movies. Yeah. I mean, he's not as good of an actor, but to like have his opinions that he has, because he's very opinionated about acting. But
he was like, I mean, as short as it was, he was good as Mr. Jinx and Spectre. I like Batista and Spectre.
Yeah, and he played that very well.
Yeah.
Is that the one where he didn't even have a line in the movie? Or
I don't know if he didn't have a line, but he's like he doesn't talk. He might be mute.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but I just remember I liked him as that character. He does it well, like being just a big brooding,
menacing guy.
Yeah, like he does that very well. MacGruber, everyone dies. Just to talk about it. Spoiler alert, they get into a van.
Is there a Kevin Smith movie that has Jericho in it?
You know what? I don't know.
I think there was it.
Is he in the one with Will Ferrell where they go to jail?
That I don't think so. No, I think it might be. Was it Yoga Hosers or something? I know he was at Jericho and Smith did something.
Oh, Kevin Smith. I thought you said Kevin.
No, Kevin Smith. Jericho was in something recently with.
I don't remember.
Or it's coming.
I mean, when you really like break it down, like from looking at these lists, there's wrestlers in like every movie like this. So they don't always have big roles, but there's like a wrestler. Is like it's really easy for Hollywood to be like, we need to fill this small part, and a wrestler is like the easiest person. They already have basic acting, they already have agents through WWE. Just get them, bring them in, and that's it. I noticed that a lot. Like a lot of the jail movies.
Yeah,
that's why. Like, Let's Go to Prison, Longest Yard, the We Go Hard or whatever it's called, with Will Ferrell. There's always like one wrestler guy in all of those movies.
Well, I mean, even X-Men. The original X-Men film had Taylor Maine.
Yeah, was Sabretooth.
So
that was close to being on my list.
Yeah, he's not a very popular or prominent wrestler, but he's still a wrestler. Yeah,
I also tried to make sure that my guys were like pretty popular. Yeah, which the only one that's not, I think, is Nick's Godfather. But
we'll give it to him.
I accept it because
gotta give it to me.
Luca Brasi's like iconic in that movie.
Yeah.
Like as a character, and it's The Godfather. So I'm not gonna say no.
I'm not gonna say nothing to that. But sorry, Nick,
which movie was Andre in? Which Conan was the second one?
The first one, I think.
I think it was the second one.
There's more than him in the first one. There's like 3 wrestlers, like no-name wrestlers in it.
I can't remember that. It's been years since I watched Conan. I'm actually looking forward to seeing Batista in Dune.
Yeah. Dune just has like a massive cast.
Yeah.
Did Rock do Dune?
No, Doom. Dune, D-U-N-E. Dune.
I tried to say Dune at the same time as you, and I said Doom.
Oh,
yeah, Doom was bad. Doom was bad.
No, listen to me, okay? Listen, we're gonna get this out. I got 5 minutes here.
I gotta get something out too.
Doom is not that bad of a movie. It's not good, but it's underappreciated in the Carl Urban of it is good.
Okay.
And the first person shooter scenes are awesome.
Okay. And it's not done by Uwe Boll, so we're okay.
Yes, we're all saved. And it's not House of the Dead.
All right.
Go ahead, Nick.
Honorable mention: Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2.
Yes.
Super Shredder.
Kevin Nash.
Okay. Honorable mention: Kevin
John
Nash,
Wick.
Magic Mike.
John Wick. Kevin Nash.
Honorable mention: Scott Hall and Kevin Nash in Grandma's Boy.
Kevin Nash, the Punisher.
We're just dropping Kevin Nash bombs.
Too sweet.
I mean, all of those movies, by the way, I had them. And I was like, I didn't feel like he played a prominent enough role. Like in Grandma's Boy, they're in it for like 1 second.
Yeah, he was more prominent in like, say, The Longest Yard or Punisher.
Punisher, he's in it for a bit.
Yeah.
But he looks like Waldo. Like, where's
he
Waldo?
He does with the stripes and the blonde hair.
This
Where's
is a good
Waldo's
one.
Steroids?
This is a good video. I can't wait to get Caps' opinion on the video we do for your channel.
See if I show up for that one.
He's going to show up.
We'll send the invite. But...
He just wants to berate us.
And we won't go over.
All right. Well, that's it. I'm ending this video. Thank you for watching. Let us know what's your favorite movie featuring a wrestler in the comments below. And it's probably going to be something with The Rock. Like, subscribe. Check out their stuff in the comments, you know? Don't turn your back on the Wolfpack.